Analysts are expecting a big year for energy stocks in 2025 as these companies work to keep up with all the growth in AI. Here to break down which three stocks to watch in this sector is MarketBeat guest Marc Lichtenfeld. He is the Chief Income Strategist at the Oxford Club. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mark.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So you just released a new report really talking about the one factor that could slow down all of the explosive growth we've been seeing in AI, and that is energy and the
Mhm.
demand on the system. Will you share a little bit about the research that you've done?
As you may know, AI just requires enormous amounts of energy. For example, a simple chat GPT query requires 10 to 25 times more energy than a simple Google search. The draw on energy, the requirements for energy from AI are astronomical. Elon Musk has said that the next shortage in the United States is going to be electricity. Donald Trump has said that because of AI, we need twice the amount of electricity that we have. In order to have electricity, you need something to fuel it. So to me, energy is the very obvious story for 2025.
Yeah, that's such a great point. And, we've been talking so much about all these AI stocks that are seeing tremendous growth, but just recently we've started to have more analysts and more people talking about these kind of secondary groups that are really supporting AI and secondary industries supporting AI. Energy, like you said, an obvious one. How much growth would you expect for some of these energy sector stocks in 2025?
I think it's going to be tremendous. I mean, if you look at things like nuclear energy, there are 444 nuclear reactors in the world right now that are operating. There are plans for another 110. And those are just the big reactors. There are something called small modular reactors, which are just like it sounds, smaller nuclear reactors. They take less time to construct. Those are starting to go up. You've got major industry, major companies like Microsoft and Amazon, Google that are getting involved with these SMRs, small modular reactors. But that's a long-term solution. I'm also looking at natural gas because that's a shorter-term solution. The United States has loads and loads of natural gas. It's cheap. It's cleaner than oil. And to me, that's the short to intermediate term solution for our energy needs, whereas nuclear is going to be the intermediate to longer term solution.
Yeah, you've already mentioned a couple of sectors there. Energy is so widespread. There's so many different forms of energy and new clean energy coming out as well. Are there any specific sectors you see supporting the AI growth more than others? And I know, again, you just mentioned nuclear and natural gas, but any other sectors to watch in the year ahead?
Yeah, data storage, which also requires tremendous amounts of energy. So this is an amazing statistic I just recently came across. 90% of all of the world's data throughout history has been created in the last 2 years. So, and that's only going to increase with AI. So there needs to be a place to store all this data. So you've got these data centers popping up all over the world. There's a large concentration of them in Northern Virginia because it's close to Washington, it's happening all over the world. And so these data centers require a tremendous amount of electricity to run the servers, to cool the servers. That's obviously very important. What I like about the data center REITs and energy is, these are the picks and shovels of the new gold rush. When you think back to the gold rush in the 1800s, sure, some people found a couple of nuggets in the river, but really the ones who made a lot of money were the ones who sold the tools, the shovels, the picks, the Levi's jeans. I want to be involved in the companies that are going to make money no matter who wins. So, we may or may not be able to pick the next big AI winner, just like some people may have gotten Amazon right, but a lot of people might have gone with pets.com back 25 years ago. I want to be in the companies that are serving all of them so that no matter who wins, these companies that are providing all the tools are making money. And that's definitely energy, and it's definitely the data center REITs.
That is such a great point. Thank you for sharing that with our viewers. Another thing our viewers love to see in some specific stock picks. I know in your special report, you have some really great picks, and we're going to share more about that in just a little bit. But first, let's start out with just some specific energy stocks that you can see doing really well in 2025.
So in the natural gas space, I've two. One is, you're not supposed to have favorite stocks, but this is kind of one of my favorites. It's been for a long time. Enterprise Products Partners, ticker symbol is EPD. This is a master limited partnership, and they transport natural gas throughout the country. As long as companies are transporting natural gas, much of it will have to go through enterprises' pipelines, and they just collect a fee along the way. There's not a lot of capital that's required to run the business. Basically, they just have to maintain these pipelines, and it pays almost a 7% yield. They've been raising the dividend every year for, I think, about 24, 25 years now. And it's just a real steady performer year after year. The other natural gas company I really like is Cheniere Energy Partners. So not Cheniere Energy. Cheniere Energy is, the ticker symbol is LNG. This is Cheniere Energy Partners, also a master limited partnership, and the ticker symbol is CQP. And the reason I like it is they have one of the largest natural gas terminals in the country. They store gas, they transport gas, and they have shipping maritime terminals where they can export the gas, which is going to be a bigger and bigger part of the natural gas business in the U.S. going forward. Donald Trump is very much in favor of exporting gas. And let's not forget, Europe has been importing a lot of gas from Russia. And I think they're kind of getting over that. They don't want to be held hostage by Russia. Be able to import American natural gas is going to become more and more attractive to Europe, and that should definitely benefit Cheniere Partners. Cheniere Partners also has about a 6% yield versus the regular Cheniere Energy, which has a much, much lower yield. And with a master limited partnership, your dividends are tax deferred. So you have the tax advantage along with the higher yield.
Great. Now, your third pick is not natural gas. This is more of an ETF. What kind of stocks are included on the ETF? That's one of your picks for today.
It holds physical uranium. If nuclear power progresses the way I and a lot of other people expect it to, there's going to be a huge amount of demand for physical uranium. I expect uranium prices to rise strongly over the long term. Right now, it actually has been coming down a little bit, so you have the opportunity to buy it perhaps on the cheap, but I think long term it's a great investment. So I really like the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust ETF, and the ticker symbol is SRUUF. This is one I think you hold for a while, and 3-5 years from now, I think uranium prices are going to be much, much higher, and so will this ETF.
Some great advice for our investors. With either of these stock picks and really this whole industry, do you expect to see the big returns coming in 2025, or are all of these gains potentially more long-term as AI really starts to take hold across the country?
I'm extremely bullish on natural gas in the short term, so definitely for 2025 and beyond. Nuclear power, I think the fundamentals are a little bit further out. I think it's going to take a little longer for all the nuclear power plants to start getting operational, for some of the uranium and nuclear related stocks to start seeing an increase in revenue. That being said, I do think nuclear is going to become a much bigger story. So I think, as we often see in the stock market, the stocks will start to appreciate even before the businesses start to improve their fundamentals. So I do think nuclear is going to be a really good sector to be in 2025. I think natural gas, you'll see those fundamentals in the companies really start to ramp a little bit sooner, though.
Well, Mark, you have a wealth of information and knowledge on this sector, and you share even more of that on your special report that just came out. Tell folks a little bit more about what to expect in this new report and where they can find it.
We really dive into the nuclear story because, again, that's the long-term solution here for the United States and really for the world. It's not just the U.S. that's boosting its nuclear capabilities. Japan, Germany, a lot of other countries are as well. So this is a long-term story. To me, it's almost the low-hanging fruit here for the market in 2025.
You can click that link right here to watch that full report. I watched it myself. Very interesting. Again, Mark, you are a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for sharing some of it with us today here on MarketBeat.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, and thank you for watching, everyone. Again, check out the link in the description to check out Mark's full report and check out other videos just like this one here on MarketBeat. As always, happy investing.